Hello guys, it's Tisho again, and I know you haven't heard this in a while. The reason behind it is very simple. I wanted to enjoy the summer to its max potential, and I was left with no time for extensive gaming and video making. Haven't played Battlefield 4 a lot, none in the last month or so, but I think that will change as well. You guessed what I'm talking about, didn't you? The September the 13th patch for Battlefield 4. Are you ready? It's been almost 1 year since the launch of Battlefield 4, and we will get a completely bug-free version of the game at last. Better late than never, I guess. First of all, what can we expect from this patch? What does it include? How are DICE sure it's going to be perfectly working? Well, this and a lot more. I'll answer them one by one, so sit tight and let's get started. The list of changes is massive because it includes all the 25 patches CTE has gotten so far. Quite a lot, you have to agree. DICE have been doing magnificent work regarding the community test environment and its patches, and they have polished almost all the bugs the vanilla game still has. I have to say, I was a bit frustrated because I'm not a member of CTE and I felt a bit left out on all the new features, which I packed in a small amount of information, including only the biggest and most game-changing updates. We start with the game modes. Rush on all base game maps except Dawnbreaker, and the game modes Obliteration, Capture the Flag and Carrier Assault have been completely overhauled for a more enjoyable and balanced gameplay. On Obliteration, competitive sub-game mode is added as well. There are a few slight improvements, which include the most important being the removal of the visual recoil, or explained more in depth, the close and medium range sights reticles are no longer affected by the weapon firing animation. There's been an improved visibility for red glowing reticule pieces against bright backgrounds, so you'll be able to spot enemies easier. The player movement is now identical to the Battlefield 3 player movement, with the Battlefield 4 animation sets. What does that mean? Sharper and more fluid movement, something we needed right from the start. Battlefield 4 feels sluggishly compared to Battlefield 3, and that was a very big step backwards. Good, it's getting fixed. The third person hit reaction for player head have been now fixed. In short, if somebody is head glitching and you just hit him in the head, his head wouldn't bend down and go behind cover. That's a very big plus, especially for the competitive side of Battlefield 4, because head glitching is very exploited there. There's been a huge HUD overhaul. The HUD has been decluttered, and there's been a lot of customization options added to the HUD, so you can make it look the way you want it, which is pretty neat in my opinion. The revive mechanic has been changed, and more in-depthly, it has made revives much more robust, easier to understand with the new UI art, and included a new fully charged paddle sound, which is, I guess, a gimmick, but it could be appreciated. And of course, what you've all been expecting, the netcode. There's been an automatic high-frequency update setting, which is now set for default on all users and added for the old gen, the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 platforms. There's been an additional improvements to bullet damage delays between clients compared to the netcode patch, which we got for the vanilla a few months ago. There's been some weapon attachment changes as well, and the muzzle brake is the first one to get a fix. The patch will reduce the overall impact of this attachment, both its positive and negative sides. Heavy barrel will get a nerf to the minimum moving spread and a bonus to the reduced spread increase. Should be a good option for longer range stab firing. That's a good one, especially for one of these machine guns that have a heavy barrel option. The lasers will get a small buff to standing hipfire accuracy, which I'm not sure is necessary, but if they think it is, then maybe they know better than me, who knows. There are a lot of weapon changes, and I'm going to discuss just a few of them. There will be an improved bullet velocity for slugs and nearly all suppressed weapons, selectively improved base velocity for weapons that were too slow for their intended range. That is definitely something nice to hear, and music to my ears. The damage model is going to change entirely. Many weapons will have their maximum and minimum damage adjusted slightly, which will result in a maybe one extra bullet kill at extremely close engagements and long-range combat. The trigger delay has been removed from all revolvers, and there's been an adjustment to slower rate of fire weapons to make them easier to use at longer ranges versus the higher rate of fire weapons. Carbines and PDWs will now have unique bullpup modifiers that give improved bonuses over the rifle counterpart, which is definitely a bonus because I love using carbines, but I haven't been using PDWs at all, so that will maybe change some of my game style. Some weapons are going to get more ammunition at the beginning because they were short ammo compared to their counterparts. DMRs, the audio of the DMRs is going to be improved or lowered, so it doesn't sound like a sniper rifle that's shooting every 1 second at you. The SKS and the M39 are no longer allowed to hold your breath, which I don't know who even does that. They're very fast rate of fire DMRs. The grenade capacity is lowered and resupply times increased. That means no more RGO impact and mini-nades spam. We should see more M67 frags on the battlefield. Always a good thing. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. Tell me in the comment section below though, are you ready for Battlefield 4 2.0?